You're listening to the Multiverse Fancast, proud member of the Misfit Faction Media Network.
Be ready. All right then. On with the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Multiverse Fancast. Don't forget, you could take us on the go with Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or any other listening stations. You can also check out our content on our website, themisfitfaction.com. I am one of your hosts, Ronnie, and with me, as always, we have Paul. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Ronnie. How are you?
I am doing super peachy keen.
Oh, God, really? That's a little much.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
All right, just take it down a notch.
Okay. And then with us,
You're doing a great job.
We also have our unofficial, official third guest host, Rob.
Microphone.
It's really weird that we're at a point where Rob's quoting DC movies just so happily.
Yeah, right?
I'm happy to quote a James Gunn movie any day.
It's a DC movie.
Whatever.
All right.
Same difference.
Empanadas.
Tomatoes, potatoes, whatever.
Chimichangas.
They're all carbs. We love them.
Exactly. But we have a great, awesome episode. So, for those of you that have been active followers and listeners of the podcast, this is our 100th episode.
It's our what?
100 episodes.
That was better.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing is we're kind of going a little off of what we normally do, but also
We're a little
kind
off?
of staying on track.
I
Yeah,
thought
we're a
we were
little
all-
off. Just a little bit. We have a fun show planned for you where we're kind of going to not really hit on a specific movie, specific comic book, specific superhero like we normally do.
Tell them what they've won, Johnny.
You have won a fantastic episode that's going to include a bunch of top fives, our favorites, some things that we would like to improve on.
This is it's sort of like what our conversation is like when the microphones are off.
Yes, basically.
And
Yeah.
also, basically, we're going to be doing a lot of listing, and we're a little bit more rapid fire than we normally do. Basically, it's going to be like, your top three, your top five. It's not going to be so much back and forth discussion, but if at any point there's a specific topic that you would like to hear more of, we can devote an entire episode to basically any one of these topics.
Yes.
And we have some planned content for the next couple of months. We have some things that we need to work out.
Yep.
But a lot of this is some really good stuff, and big kudos to Ronnie and Rob for making the list, and for me adding 3 in at the very last minute there.
All right.
But before we jump into the show, we do have a little bit of news, so Rob is going to be our news anchor for the night.
So, in the news, the first one is the Suicide Squad's opening weekend. Suicide Squad opened this weekend to a disappointing $26.2 million. Now, we say disappointing because, first of all, the lowest end of the expectation was at 30, so it came even below that. So, it's... As far as the future of DC goes, we're not really sure how this will impact it. Also, remember that sometimes it's not about the opening weekend. Sometimes it's about the kind of legs that a movie will have. It'll be curious to see how much of this drops in the next weekend. Like, I believe it was Black Widow dropped, 67% in the second weekend.
Yeah.
If it drops more than that, then obviously that'll be a big sign. I'm hoping it'll stay. However, there's a lot of factors that are involved in here. There's the Delta variant, which is a factor which, nobody could have seen coming. There's the simultaneous release between theaters and HBO Max, where a lot of people, including all the people in this room, went and saw it first on HBO Max. It was easier to do it that way. So, HBO Max is declaring that this was their second highest viewed movie ever. With
Mortal Kombat beating
yes,
it,
Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
was the first one they claimed, which brought in $40 million at the box office that weekend.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that are in the win column for this, a lot of things in the lose column. So we're really not sure where it's going, but there's some other theories too.
Yeah. So HBO Max is also looking. I think they're also doing the right thing because they're currently looking at doing HBO Max exclusive movies. Like they're talking about the new Blue Beetle movie where they've got I'm gonna kill his name, Zolo.
You're looking at me like I have this.
I'm just looking in general. One of the stars of Cobra Kai, he's gonna be playing Jaime Reyes, which is fantastic. I really enjoy him and the character. They're also talking about one of the other kids from Cobra Kai playing Jason Todd in a Red Hood movie.
Yes.
Cool.
They also have the Batgirl movie coming out. So HBO Max has a very interesting future where they're kind of already going towards Netflix territory, which I'm fine with. Like they've been putting out quality stuff. You know, if you listen to our Suicide Squad episode, we've highly praised the movie.
We all loved it.
I think that's why it suffered. I think because people are going Suicide Squad. What did we get the first time? We got a bad movie. So I wonder if that's kind of why people are like, let's wait for the open weekend, see the reviews, and then this weekend, I feel like it's going to drop because movies always drop this second weekend anyway. But I feel like it's going to be very small, where it's almost like
I'm hoping
the first weekend, second weekend is above what they were expecting for opening.
I think the HBO Max numbers are going to be the biggest factor with this.
Let me ask you guys this: because last week when we reviewed the Suicide Squad, all of us were saying it all had. We think it's going to improve with time. Did it improve with time for you over the past week?
I think so.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it since.
I watched scenes from it.
Did you?
Yeah.
But like just thinking back on it and everything like that, I'm like, yeah, no, that was actually.
I mean, compare your reaction to Black Widow and this. You know, with Black Widow, it was out of my brain within hours.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a week later, and I'm still thinking about the Suicide Squad.
Well, and we're also thinking about the future. Like with Black Widow, I hate to say it, there was no future until the lawsuit stuff happened. Then we started talking about Black Widow again. But for Suicide Squad, we got so excited, like characters we want to see in the next one, or who do we want to see get their own movie now? You know, especially the way that it ends.
Speaking of the Black Widow stuff, they actually announced that Shang-Chi is going to be strictly in theaters.
Yeah,
they're not going to do Disney Plus. And I guarantee you it's because of Scarlett Johansson.
Now,
absolutely.
I've got two things on this. Number one, I've got, the Shang-Chi is being released solely into theaters. There was a comment. Disney had their quarter 2 earnings meeting recently, their public meeting, and they expressed some regret that they did not release Shang-Chi onto Disney Plus. Possibly, and they because
they wanted all the money.
Well, yeah, probably. But they indicated that it was if they had foreseen the Delta variant rising as it is, they might have made different plans ahead of time. That was sort of their indication.
But they flipped Black Widow 2 weeks before it opened up.
I know.
So you still have a month until? No, they're just BS. It's their way to be like, Scarlett Johansson was right.
Some of it might be the promo stuff too, that they can't promote HBO Max enough on such a short notice. So, I don't know. But on a related note with Scarlett Johansson, Disney officially cut all ties with Scarlett Johansson, saying that any and all future projects that she was involved in would be cut.
Yeah.
Which, it's getting bitter, and it's unfortunate because she has I feel she has the complete right to ask for this money because it was in her initial contract, and there was never, when the release strategy changed, her contract should have changed, and Disney didn't do that.
You know what's going to happen? Here comes DC.
They're going to snag.
I would snag that just like they did with James Gunn.
I would
snag that up.
She could be Poison Ivy.
She could be Poison Ivy. She could be, I don't know, Batgirl.
My only issue is I really do like Scarlett Johansson. I'm a big fan of her work. Her other catalog is not. It's not like James Gunn. James Gunn has a very solid catalog, especially in the directing front. And he was, I hate to say it, he was hot. Like that was the hot commodity. Scarlett Johansson. Not only did she sue the people that she was working for, because that's just going to be the interpretation in Hollywood, but also I saw Lucy. It was okay. I saw Ghost in the Shell.
Mm-hmm. That was not okay.
Yeah. So as much as I really do like Scarlett Johansson, if they can find her the perfect vehicle in DC that I think she can nail, then fine.
She's more the type that is like an A-list celebrity that, and she's a celebrity in every respect of it. Like with the paparazzi and the red carpets. Like she is a royal star, but that doesn't necessarily mean having her in your movie is going to make your movie good.
Which is a big topic of discussion about Suicide Squad not having Will Smith.
Yeah.
Well,
some stars just bring a certain gravitas.
See, I have to disagree with both of you.
Oh my God, so mean.
Right? So
why'd you have to hit me before you said that?
think of it this way. Maybe Lucy and a bunch of all those things weren't good movies, but did they bring numbers to the box office?
Opening weekend, they did. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? She is going to bring people to the box office,
and that's the thing. She can open a film.
Yes, and then she's in other stuff too that's not superhero related that are pretty good movies. As well.
Oh yeah,
Marriage Story.
She's very good.
Oh, Marriage Story was astounding.
Right, she was in that. She was one of the main in it too.
I know she's a great actress. I had the pleasure of seeing her on a Broadway stage doing Arthur Miller's View from a Bridge right in front of me. She was astounding.
Yeah. So I mean, like I
on a side note,
she would be able.
On a side note, this weekend I believe it is, Colin Jost will be performing at the Ridgefield Playhouse.
Oh really? That's awesome. Do we have any other news?
Yes. We also have that Venom got delayed for 3 weeks. It was originally coming out on September 24th. It's now going to October 15th. Now, this may...
They're trying to get it towards Halloween.
Well, that may be, but this might also be let's see where this Delta variant is going and how badly the theater situation is going to be a month from now.
Yeah, because Sony doesn't have some sort of way to release a film.
Yeah.
They don't have their own streaming service.
So this is, I think, a studio being shy of the world at this point, which is for good reason. What If premiered this week. They had their first episode where what if Captain America were actually Peggy Carter?
Yeah.
I saw it. I enjoyed it. I debated back and forth whether I was going to write a piece about it. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to write up a piece every 3 episodes because right now I don't see What If as like essential viewing that you have to show up for right away, the way that Loki and all these other shows were. This is something where it's like, hey, get around to it when you get a chance, but it's worth watching.
Yeah.
I know you watched it.
Yes, producer Melanie and I watched it, and it was I enjoyed it. It was a fun watch. I just feel like all of these don't have the problem is with all the other shows, they had gravitas, they had ramifications. Yeah, I went
ramifications.
Ramifications
and consequences.
Yeah. So for me, like it was cool to see, but I do find the animation style a little jarring. It reminds me of the computer generated Spider-Man show they did like a few years ago with Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man of all things. That was before How I Met Your Mother. But for me, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was wildly okay.
What if I watched it?
I think then
we'd be
you
having
would
a different
have
episode.
a half hour in front of the TV. It was good. It was like I saw it almost as if almost a shot-for-shot remake of Captain America: The First Avenger. Like there were so many moments where it was like, oh, I remember that from the movie, but it was the other person in there instead. Like it was neat. It didn't go that wildly off the track with anything. I'd love to see how this plays out next week, if there's any connection between these episodes.
I'd like to see if there's any connection in a future movie.
Yeah.
We got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming out. They're doing a lot of stuff with the multiverse and different universes. And it is Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
Like she does the voice.
Oh, they're all of them, or almost all of them. I think Chris Evans
and Robert Downey Jr. were the biggest holdouts.
Yeah. And Scarlett Johansson, she's not in it either.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Every single other person, even down to people like Taserface, are the actual people who did the voices,
which is really cool, and that gives it a lot of credence. So unless Haley Atwell is going to come flying out of a portal,
I heard a rumor that she is in Doctor Strange.
I've given up on all the rumors because
there's a rumor everyone's going to be
at
in
this
it.
rate. Superman's going to be in Spider-Man.
Say in the Umbrella Academy.
They will.
I heard a rumor. We also got to see a bit more, finally, of Lucifer's final season trailer, which looks like a lot of fun. It's a lot of end of the world apocalypse kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. That comes out on September 10th. We also got to see a Doom Patrol season 3 trailer and announcement for September 23rd. Which
I was surprised. I wasn't ready for it.
What a goofy trailer. It's like
that show leans so hard into their goofiness because it was a Titan spinoff.
I remember.
Yeah, I mean there was an episode of Titans called Doom Patrol.
That's where I first saw them, and then I watched Doom Patrol because of that episode.
Oh, yeah.
And I never finished watching Titans. I'm in the middle of it right now, but Doom Patrol is a really solid show. It's out there. It's wacky. It's really rejected kind of superheroes, but it's fun. So check that out.
I think that DC really kind of found their niche with this rated R material. Like I was talking to a guy that I work with, and we were talking about Suicide Squad and how much he enjoyed it because he's a big buff, like stuff like that. And today I pulled him aside. I was like, "You watched it on HBO Max?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Watch Titans. If you want some rated R superhero stuff, Titans is a really good choice because even up until a few years ago, like any rated R superhero movies were still pretty tame, all things considering. Even Blade, Blade drops. I think there's like 2 F-bombs and just a little bit of violence
and an MF bomb.
Yeah,
like guys.
In all honesty, like
that line about
skating uphill.
Yeah.
But like Blade could be a PG. That movie can be PG-13. And nothing gets taken away from it. So it's interesting to see how DC's kind of.
One of my comments I had about the Suicide Squad was that I didn't think it was as gory as I thought it was going to be, and Lauren said to me, and I have to test this: watch it with the sound off, and you'll see just how gory it is. Because a lot of the goriness it gets glossed over because of the hilarity of the situation or the music or whatever. She said, watch it with the sound off, and you'll be like, oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And then finally in the news, we have a new trailer for The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. It is an anime. It's coming out on August 23rd. Are you guys fans of The Witcher at all?
I loved I played the games and I love this. We love the season. I'm so excited for season 2.
Yes, which is in December, I believe.
God, it's taken forever.
This is looks like a rated R anime with lots of all the good stuff that makes The Witcher as great as it is. And it's going to be a one-shot film coming out on August 23rd on Netflix, and it looks like it's a lot of fun. And that wraps up our news.
All right. Well, thank you, Rob, for that. Before we go into our commercial break, we do have a quick little announcement that later on in the episode, we're going to go into detail exactly what it's about. But because it's our 100th episode, we are doing a little giveaway from now until the end of this month. Like I said, later this episode, we will go over the details on how you can enter to win a chance to win some goodies from one of our sponsors, Raise Energy / Rep Sports. You get a little goodies from them, some sample packs and whatnot. But later on in the episode,
I'll go through the whole list of all the stuff that we got.
Yeah, later on in this episode, when we go over exactly how to enter, we'll kind of go into detail exactly what everything is. But you got some decals, shirts, and good stuff from them to kind of give away. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Today's episode is brought to you by Raise Energy Drinks from Rep Sports. Whether you're trying to crush your afternoon workout or just need a little extra pick-me-up, Raise Energy is just the boost that you're going to need. So if you go to repsports.com and any product that you order, enter the code MISFIT89 at checkout to receive 15% off. Anything that you guys buy from that store helps our network grow, and we fully appreciate everything you guys do. That's MISFIT89 at checkout, repsports.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope you had a nice little pee break. I know we all did.
Saw that raise, man.
Yeah,
goes right through me.
Exactly. What other way can we get our energy up for the podcast?
I was going to ask why you were doing push-ups, but that's not the point.
It's their pre-workout. It just gets me going. But yeah, so we are going to jump right into our episode. Like I said, this is going to be a little, almost like a Q&A, but we asked the questions to ourselves.
So basically, we all separately made a list of questions that we just kind of wanted to touch base on.
Yeah.
We've had a little discussion with... You can't just do things. We had a little discussion with what our thoughts were, where we were, but we didn't really give each other too much information. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fun to see our reactions. It's not going to be an argument type story. It's not going to be like, if Rob's like, Batman and Robin is the best movie ever. I'm not going to be like,
Something I would say.
Oh no, I will say that.
I know you would say that. So it's more just going to be just for
talk like
funsies
that.
and just basically the goal is to get the other hosts to go, oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. So again, like I said in the beginning, this is our 100th episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some podcasting show kind of questions. So the first question is, what was our favorite episode we've recorded? So Paul, why don't you go first? What was your favorite episode?
All right. So it is a tie. There are two. It is
No, I said favorite, not favorites.
It is a tie for two. Number one, and this is not because of the episode itself, but because of the context of the episode. Our first video episode at Matt Vanacoro's house, where it was all three of us, when we did Justice League.
Justice League, yeah.
And we were so nice to that movie.
I think we were just excited that it came out.
And it wasn't as big of a train. Obviously, it is not aged well either, especially with all the things that came out about it afterwards.
Yeah.
But we just had a great time. That was very different for us. We were doing Facebook Live at the same time. We were all standing behind that desk wearing superhero shirts. But so that was really fun. But topic-wise, unfortunately, my favorite episode is an episode that nobody's ever heard, our Crisis on Infinite Earths episode.
The Lost Tapes.
The Lost episode. So for those of you guys who don't know, we've mentioned it a few times. We took a big hiatus from podcasting. That's why even though the podcast has been around for about 5 years, we're only at 100 episodes.
Yeah.
We took a big hiatus. The three of us actually moved in together. Not Rob, because he's married with kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
With kid.
I was going to say with kids, but then I realized that there's only a Timmy.
Really? There's more?
There's more? Well, you're the biggest kid there.
Yeah.
But
my wife was telling me.
Oh, yeah. So...
And they got 2 dogs.
I think that's your dogs, yeah. So, but we moved in, and we thought that would make podcasting easier, and it didn't happen, and schedules were all over. I was working midnights. We were just everywhere. We finally, after watching Crisis on Infinite Earths, we were so excited. We're like, we're gonna boot it up. I think it was it all 4 of us? The 3 of us and Sean?
This one I was not there for this.
I thought you were.
For Crisis?
I think you were.
I think you were too.
I'm sorry.
And and for some reason the file got so viciously corrupted afterwards that we weren't able to upload it, and it put such a damper on us again that we took like another 2 years of hiatus.
Yeah.
But it was such a great episode, and it was a lot of fun, and it's one of the biggest reasons we actually did come back.
Yes. What about you, Rob?
My favorite episode?
Yes.
This one.
Oh, shut up. Let's be for real. We haven't finished.
Why does it smell like a cop-out down here?
Actually, I like the one with the 2 of. I also have 2. One was just the whole Justice League where we all just sat for 4 hours and recorded stuff beforehand and then after and got comments from everyone. That was like just a big party. However, I think my favorite episode might have been the R-rated superheroes one. Because,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think because I like episodes like this one where I don't know what you're all going to say. Like this gives a chance for everyone to shine with their creativity and putting all things together. And it's like, I like the surprises because I have with all the questions for today, I worked out all my answers a couple days ago. And so I'm anxious to share them. I can't wait to hear what you guys have. So I think it's that element of surprise that always I enjoy.
All right. Awesome.
You? Ronnie?
So, mine, I must say, it has to be episode 1.
You did repost it
Chapter
today.
1. I reposted it today. I think because if it wasn't for that, we would, this wouldn't be here. So I think that to me is one of the favorites because it did start what we have here today.
Our most downloaded episode.
Our most downloaded episode as well.
By our parents.
Yeah, right? And you know what? It was basically this episode very similar where it was just myself and Paul at the time doing it
that blue Yeti mmicrophone.
Yes.
I still have it.
Yeah,
it's over
right.
There. Yeah, it's over there.
But it was what's your favorite this, your favorite that, everything. It was like a get to know us type of episode. So to me that is my favorite episode. But I do have like 1B and 1C in there as well. And you both did it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Wow, look at that.
Both Justice Leagues.
The Justice League.
Yeah. The one at Vanacoro's with the video and everything, and then the one here because that was an event. We did video for that beforehand. We watched the movie, then we recorded after.
We had a script for a skit.
Yeah. It was like a big production, which was awesome. And I've heard really good feedback from that episode as well, which is a great thing.
So check that episode out.
So that's those. I think those are episodes that everyone should go back and kind of listen to, download, or watch. Because, like I said, with the Snyder cut, we did a video with that, and actually for Justice League too. There's a video up there as well. All right, so jumping ahead, we're going to be moving on. Second question, still show related, is who would be one superhero guest host we would want on the show? Rob, why don't you go first for this?
Black Bolt.
The production would be about the same level.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Black Bolt doesn't speak, and only when he does speak, it's like such a horrific...
Destroys
worlds.
Yeah.
It was either him or Deadpool.
Deadpool's a good one. Deadpool's a really good one.
He wouldn't have to fourth wall break at all.
We wouldn't have to say anything. We just let him go.
Yeah, right? And today with us we have Deadpool. Thank you very much for coming.
And then we go on and on and on.
Korg. Deadpool and Korg. That's what it should be. No.
Paul?
So I
was that your answer?
No, I racked my brain with this one. This was one of my questions, and it's really hard because you could go so many different ways with this question. Like, you could talk, like, if I want to talk, like Superman would be so cool to have on the show because he's Superman, and, like, all this cool, like, what's it like to fly? What's it like to do? And then you talk to, like, Professor Xavier, like, and he has, like, a philosophical debate with you about humans as a whole.
Yeah.
So, for me, it really boiled down to, I really wanted, and I don't know why this character came to me, but it's just the one that came to me, Dr. Fate. Kent Nelson, Dr. Fate. I just feel like he would come on the show and just have so much knowledge and gravitas and just be so classy. It was either him or, Rob's going to appreciate this one, Alfred.
Yay!
There's something about characters that just see it all. And they're Alfred's not really an audience surrogate, but he is such a unique member of the Batman mythos that to have a character, like to have something like that on the show would be so cool. It would have been easy to go with a big name like Superman or Captain America. I even toyed around with John Walker just to annoy Rob.
On a side note, as in terms of development of Forks on the Left, I've been able to include a musical montage in the middle of a song called "Anything Else, Sir."
Yeah, as long as it's not Titans Alfred.
That's funny.
Ronnie?
So I was in my head, I'm trying to think who would be
As
interesting.
opposed to what other part?
My heart.
All right, he got me.
Because my heart is saying to go with a big name: Batman, Captain America, Superman, Spider-Man. But I'm trying to think of who would be interesting to talk to. Who would be able to hold a conversation, not make it about themselves. Because obviously Batman could do that.
Deadpool would make it
about himself and everything.
No, he just commented about our really bad setup down here.
Yeah, that too.
About how these walls aren't painted.
Yeah,
I
right?
know. I'm really over
I
it.
kind of want to
that's something
say...
you can do this weekend.
I kind of want to say Daredevil.
Daredevil, he did come to mind for me. Matt Murdock,
like just to hear his stories and everything like that. Daredevil is definitely
he is a character
choice.
for radio.
Yeah. Someone like that, or even if you have, like you said, like an Alfred, a Jarvis, someone who knows everything but isn't like a big name, I think would be kind of cool to have.
Cool.
Yes. All right. So moving along, next we have our top 5 DC movies. So not DCEU. Just DC
in general.
Just
DC in general. We'll go, if you want to go in order.
You're the host.
You can go. Oh, I'm letting you guys decide. Like if you want to say my number 1 is this, 2 is this, or if you want to just say my top 5 in any order is this.
Yeah, mine is in no order whatsoever for most of these.
Paul, why don't you start us off?
So, like Rob said, mine are not in a particular order. Like for me, I'm such a big DC fan, so trying to pick out DC movies was really tough. Like, I had a lot of trouble with it, but in no particular order. The original Superman, I find it just holds a very nostalgic place in my heart. It was probably the first The first superhero movie that I ever saw. The 1966 Batman.
Huh.
They made a movie out of the show, and I can guarantee that was the first superhero movie that I ever saw. I remember watching that movie so many times. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
You know the Batusi?
What was that?
The Batusi.
The Batusi. I hate to just be like Batman, Superman, Batman, Superman, Batman, Superman, but
Batman, Superman, Batman, Superman.
But
I will say Man of Steel. I really enjoy Man of Steel. It's just such a great it's a different interpretation. I considered it started this Elseworlds Justice League story. Here's a one that you may not have anticipated. Red is a Wildstorm, which is a DC Comics property. Red was such a pleasant surprise. Bruce Willis actually still trying and just like it was such a great movie.
paid him extra to care.
They probably did. Now, is this all just live action, by the way?
No.
No,
Because mine.
Yeah, I have one in here that's not live
Yeah.
action.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Are we all going to say the same one?
Probably. Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. No.
No. Teen Titans
Was that
Go
4?
movie.
That was 3 or 4? 4?
Well, you said Superman,
Batman, Red,
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
So you have one more.
This one might be a little controversial, but I would say Shazam. I really like Shazam.
I wouldn't say that's controversial.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
I don't
grown
think it
on
is.
me. It really like as much as don't get me wrong. I will defend Batman vs Superman and the Zack Snyder Justice League till the end of the day. But at the end, like it's all about what I wanted to put on.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I love Zack Snyder Justice League, I can't just put it on.
Yeah.
I can put on the last hour. I can watch
yeah.
from that ending battle scene from when Superman gets resurrected on. I can watch that on repeat over and over again. But yeah, I think as far as like top 5 that just on a rainy Sunday that I want to watch,
Yeah.
they're there.
All right. Rob?
All right. I've got in no order. I've
Okay.
got 1, The Dark Knight, of course. The Suicide Squad 2.
Wow.
I really think it's that great.
I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
I also have Superman 1978 on here as well. There's something about that John Williams score that when it starts, I get so excited, and you really feel like just amazing.
And the helicopter scene, I will always.
Oh, from the rooftop, yeah.
Oh, such a great. Who's got you? You've got me. Who's got you?
So that's 3. And Lego Batman movie.
Solid.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
Oh, those are my 4.
What about one more? You got
I
5.
couldn't come up with a 5th DC one.
Really? I guarantee you one of them that I'm going to say, you'll be like, that one.
All right, I'll concede if that's the
Okay.
case, because I really did. I not to be jokey, I really couldn't come up with 5.
Okay.
I struggled.
Yeah. So my struggle with this was top 5, meaning what I think are the top 5 best movies that DC has put out, or is it top 5, meaning which 5 would I want to watch? Which 5 would I want to put on? Maybe they're not necessarily a great movie. But number 1, I'm not going in order, but this is my number 1, The Dark Knight.
Of course.
That's my number 1, no
That's
matter
fair,
what
yeah.
you say. This is my number 1. And now in no particular order, I'm going to say Wonder Woman,
Totally forgot about Wonder Woman.
which I thought he was going to...
Nah, I didn't forget about Wonder Woman.
Not that you forgot.
That
I'm kind of...
that third act for Wonder Woman for me
Yeah?
just ruins it.
Okay. The Lego Batman movie is definitely one. I'm not going to include any Superman on this.
That's fair.
Just so you know, I never really watched the older ones, so that's why I can't really put those out
Can we
there.
do a movie night for Superman for the Quest for Peace?
No.
And every time it's bad, we take a drink.
Okay.
There it
We'll
is.
make it through the first 10 minutes.
Batman Returns.
Wow. That's fair. That's a great movie.
It's a good movie. Like I get, like it's you know. It's,
God, he kills a lot of people in that movie.
I just there's just something about it that like I could definitely put like I'm sorry, Danny DeVito.
I read a great piece this weekend about how Batman Returns really is one of the best Tim Burton movies because he got such free reign in making this like instead of going with the studio expectations of what a sequel should look like, he made like this gigantic art piece, which is like nothing else. You know, he completely rejected everything from the first one and created something new to reject, commercialism. And the fact that they set it at Christmas time only reinforces that rejection of commercialism. So it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't say Batman vs Superman. But that's not on my list. That is not.
I thought about it. I was really conflicted about it because, unfortunately, I have burnout from that movie because I have to constantly defend it. Yeah. I am not a Zack Snyder zealot. Like there are two kinds of Zack Snyder fans. There's the fan that just enjoys his work, and he's a director that that I like. I enjoy his style. It's very distinct. But then there's like the overdoers with it, where they're like, Zack Snyder can do no wrong. I'm like, every director can do wrong. And as much as I support Zack Snyder, especially like everything he went through, nowadays it's just such common knowledge how WB kind of threw him off to the wolves. Yeah. But I really do like Batman vs Superman, but it's a movie that I want to put on a Sunday afternoon. That's how I justified it.
But my number 5, again, no particular order, I kind of struggled with.
Yeah.
Either the Suicide Squad or Losers.
Losers is a good one.
Losers has good parts for me.
Yeah. I thought
about the Losers.
Again, that's my top 5. I understand it's not like one of the top 5 greatest DC movies out there. Right. But to me, a movie that I could put on, I want to watch.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a fun time.
So I kind of
for me, Chris Evans elevates that.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Now that we just did DC, we're gonna flip the script and go with our top 5 Marvel movies, which technically are all MCU.
They only had one good movie, so
right. But I guess technically top 5 MCU. Or no, I guess Marvel movies.
I have some non-MCU.
Oh, that's why I said. I guess not really, because you do have.
I do have some non-MCU.
Non-MCU. Yeah. Okay. I stuck to the MCU.
You stuck to the MCU?
Yeah, so I'll go then.
All right.
Captain America, The Winter Soldier, which I just recently rewatched, and it is still just as good.
Yep.
Avengers Infinity War. Now, I didn't put Endgame on here, although I love Endgame.
Neither did I.
I love Endgame, but Infinity War just was like the Empire Strikes Back of the series, where everything ended in like just total destruction and failure, and it was shocking. Like, we had to live for a year with that, and that was really gutsy of the Russo brothers. The first Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, which is still one of my favorite films, and Black Panther, which and I'm not, not to be PC or to pay homage to anyone, but it really is just a wonderful celebration of the
culture,
the beautifulness of black culture and how it can contribute to the world. And I haven't seen anything like that since.
Awesome.
Was that 5? I lost count.
That's fine.
I know, I wasn't counting.
I get so into the conversation that I'm
I know. I was sitting when I was doing mine. I was sitting here counting on my fingers too. Don't worry.
That's why I'm telling you, shows like this, these are my favorites.
Yes. Paul, would you like to go next?
Yes. In no particular order, and some of them are going to be a little controversial. X-Men First Class. I was so pleasantly surprised by X-Men First Class.
I was too.
It had, like, as much as I like. I really enjoyed Days of Future Past, but that was more their reboot, and I try to stay away from reboots. But X-Men First Class was such a pleasant surprise, and it's just a movie that I really enjoyed. So, Rob's not gonna like this one. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. There is just something about that movie. As if you guys listened to our first episode, which Ronnie did post today, Spider-Man's in my top 5 favorite superheroes,
and that it should be. He should be. Yes.
We're going to have a topic about characters that weren't, not to jump too far ahead, but characters that weren't necessarily captured the best. I liked Tobey Maguire. I enjoyed him. He wasn't my favorite Spider-Man.
No, same here.
Andrew Garfield was a great Peter Parker in Spider-Man.
I loved him.
He unfortunately, they had the challenge was great cast, terrible scripts.
Yeah.
The second one was better for me just visually, like him web slinging, the new costume he got. He was quippy. He was corny with his jokes, but then they were like set up. do we need a script? No. Set up.
Yeah.
So
See, I like the first one better though. Why don't you?
I like the second one because Andrew they were done with all the Peter Parker losing Uncle Ben, all that coming to terms with it. One of my favorite Spider-Man moments of all time is in The Amazing Spider-Man when Flash Thompson goes up to Peter, and Peter actually like whips him around and pins him against the locker, and Flash says he's sorry about his uncle. Like what? That moment still gives me chills when I watch it because it's.
I like that because of the whole Gwen Stacy storyline.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it's unfortunately, like I said, it had so many great parts.
Yeah. That second one though, it just it was on TV the other day, and Timmy was watching it, and I was watching it with him, and it was at the Electro when the Electro becomes Electro, and I'm like, this is so stupid.
It went too far down that cheesy route, but one of my favorite lines is when Spider-Man because he's also like peak Spider-Man. We haven't gotten peak Spider-Man with Tom Holland yet. I'm like, I hate to say it, like we still have teenage, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do without Tony Stark, like
teenage angsty Spider-Man, which
but
is good.
So I really enjoyed that. Thor Ragnarok,
of course.
I can't get over how great that is. One I really struggle with, Captain America Civil War.
I considered it.
I love Winter Soldier for all the same reasons that were mentioned, but Civil War really that's like the magnum opus for me. And then I also struggled between Infinity War and Endgame. I went Infinity War. I just because it had a better balance of action. Endgame does drag.
Yeah, there's a couple moments.
The first time you see it, it's like, oh my god, I love it. It's so sad. On rewatch, the rewatchability is really the last 30 minutes. Unfortunately, just for me personally.
There's a lot of like discovery of like how are we going to do this. I think once they get to the time heists,
then it picks up.
It picks up a lot.
Even the music changes.
Yeah.
Ronnie?
All right. Deadpool.
I am shocked.
Yeah, right.
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Chris. No. But seriously, Deadpool.
Okay.
Number 1. Number 2 for me is Winter Soldier. Then, now in no order, Black Panther.
Okay.
The first Guardians. Then my last one.
I think he's still debating.
I am still debating. I want to say
Batman Returns.
Ragnarok.
What was the other one you were between?
The other one,
Yeah.
It was thinking of Infinity War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ragnarok beat out Infinity War.
Really surprised that nobody mentioned any of the Iron Man movies.
They are.
You know what? I actually almost put
Did you?
Iron Man 3 on here. And I'm telling you, I will still defend that one. I love Shane Black's screenplay on that one.
To be honest with you, out of all these characters in their movies, granted there hasn't been a lot of multiple characters with movies, his are the most forgettable.
Yeah.
You know,
So forgettable
I think
there.
Captain America is probably the most memorable of all of the
Captain
trilogies
America,
in there,
Spider-Man.
His trilogy is the most solid.
Yeah.
it really is.
It's so funny because this is the first time we're also rebooting a villain. The Mandarin is going to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
In Shang-Chi.
So, be interesting to see.
The
All
twist
right.
is that it's Tony Slattery is the Mandarin.
Trevor Slattery.
Yeah, Trevor.
He takes over. At the
All
end.
right. So now that we talked about our top 5 DC movies, we talked about our top 5 Marvel/MCU movies. Big question here: which team would you rather be on? I guess are we? Do you want us? I guess we're saying between Justice League and the Avengers.
No.
Or do you want?
How many teams?
Oh my God, mine is not even actually in DC or Marvel.
That's why I was going to clarify before you two started screaming your heads off.
Sorry, we got excited.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you, host Ronnie.
No.
If but I think it'll affect your answer. If you're on the team, do you get the same abilities as certain team members if it's a theme team? Because technically, the Green Lanterns are a team.
You want to have Green Lantern.
I'm just that was the example that I thought
So basically,
of.
what you're saying, but okay. So if you're not a Green Lantern, if you're Justice League, what you get all the powers of everyone in the Justice League?
I'm just saying, no, for specific teams, for
Oh,
teams
for
of
a
a specific
specific team?
nature. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so because in order to be part of the Green Lantern Corps, you have to be a Green
if
Lantern.
you're on the Fantastic
Like,
Four,
or-
you were also exposed to stuff in
Or,
space.
or am I just going to be Peter from Deadpool 2?
No, I think like you said, if you're
you get
if you're
some powers. You get equal level of powers.
Because if you're in the Green Lantern Corps, you have to be a Green Lantern.
Thank you for saying core.
Thank you.
I know I keep doing it.
He keeps just, and this is the last time I'm going to point it out. He keeps saying Green Lantern corpse, which is a dead Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Right next to my opossums.
And this might have.
I won't ever bring it up again.
This might be going
Just gonna
ahead.
mute you next time.
But like, if you say X-Men, you have some sort of
You're
ability.
immune, yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Good.
All right. Rob.
I went with someone that is not that popular, but I think has the style to pull it off. I want to be a part of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Solid reference.
Thank you.
Wow.
Now if you're
that
thinking about
fits you so perfectly.
if you're thinking about the movie is not very good.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. But the idea that you've got all these literary characters come to life with superpowers, oh my god, I so want to be a part of that.
Oh no, like I love
and
stuff like
they
that.
They have such style, like in late 1800s, like
that steampunk,
upper class steampunk style. I would love to be a part of.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Paul.
I'm afraid I might take yours, but I'm going to say it anyway. The Boys. Oh no, excuse me. The Seven.
The Seven.
What's this?
Have you seen The Boys?
Yeah. The Seven by the corporate guys. Yes.
Yeah. Vought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's
with compound V or without compound V?
Well, I would have some sort
with
of
the sexual harassment or without the sexual harassment.
Okay, for the record, not all of them sexually harass, but
only two of the major ones.
Yeah, that's fine.
And those are the men.
Leave Hollywood out of this. No, for me, it was like the question. Like I debated between the Seven and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
The Seven are the more realistic. If I was a superhero, where would you want to be? And a lot of times, it depends on what kind of powers I had. Would I be able to be like Homelander? Cut it out, you silly nilly. Or like Guardians of the Galaxy were my second. It was a really tough debate for me because Guardians of the Galaxy, you travel the galaxy, you go on adventures. It's like Star Trek and Star Wars meets Marvel. So those are my two. But I really say what you will about my own personal depravity. I like to think I'm a very nice guy, but there's just something, especially if you read the comics, like there's something about having the meeting your heroes complex and the gravitas that comes with it, and corporate sponsorship. I don't know what I'm sorry. Like it came to me, and I was like, I'm gonna say it, and we'll see where it goes.
All right, interesting. So I wasn't even thinking of Green Lantern Corps, to be honest with you, but now that's in my head, to be honest. But my actual choice was Captain America's team.
Oh, the
Civil War.
Team Cap.
Team Cap.
Wait, from the World War II?
No, he's talking about
from
Civil War.
Civil War. Like his team in Civil War.
The Secret Avengers, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair.
I think that would be.
I think that's splitting some hairs, but
yeah, I think that would be my team. Right
I like
there.
it. I like it.
Yeah.
Now I want to be a part of the Howling Commandos.
I know. I was thinking that was on my list.
That's a good
on my
reference.
list. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hydra? No.
Hey, wait, hold on.
All right.
We should have done a villain.
Yeah.
Villain team.
We could do it another time, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have our teams, right, and we talked about adapting to that team, like Green Lantern Corps and everything, which superhero do you wish you were? Paul.
I know Paul's answer.
It's Superman. We all know.
I don't know that one.
There's just something about because
What a mighty good man.
No, he's Superman. Like that's literally the point. No, but there's just something about Superman. Like he's the kind of guy that I want to be. Somebody with infinite power. Like there was a point in the comics where he would sneeze and galaxies disappeared. But just to be so humble and just be like such a nice, approachable guy. Like if you watch Superman and Lois, which is one of my favorite Superman interpretations. I think in our Superman episode we said Tyler Hoechlin was our favorite character interpretation. Just
I think you did. I think for me, I said he was growing and could be.
Oh, okay, fair. Yeah, but
neither here nor there.
But you listen to it; it's great.
Yeah.
I really Superman is just I hate that's who I'd want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob?
If it's a Marvel, I want to be it.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah? You got the hair
I
for
got
it.
the hair
You
for it. Right? I know.
Can you grow a goatee? Can we?
I can, yeah. I do. I worship Doctor
should.
Strange. I watch Benedict Cumberbatch's little movements with his hands, and I practice them at home and want to be like that.
There is nothing more badass.
Your wife likes it.
Oh wow, that got graphic. There is nothing more badass though when he's talking to Thanos, and when he does you'll find our will is greater to you.
Yeah.
Like
when he does
god.
this,
Like he does the spin
and then
motion.
twist, and then he comes out like this.
I still do wish that he did actual spells though. That's always been my sticking point with it.
On a side note, I want to add in here an answer from Superfan Timothy.
Yeah, of course.
What superhero he wishes he were?
The Incredible Hulk.
Oliver Queen. He
Wow.
worships, growing up, because that was one of the first superhero shows he ever saw.
Yeah.
He grew up watching Green Arrow, and we'd watch him when he was on the playground, and we could see it in his face and in his mind. He'd think he was Oliver Queen, so he'd be running around obstacle courses and jumping on things like how Oliver Queen does his training stuff. And he was Green Arrow for Halloween. We got one of those really authentic cosplay costumes.
Yeah, I got one in the closet.
Of Green Arrow.
Oh yeah, you've never seen it?
What season?
Season when he got the short sleeves.
Okay,
Season
yeah.
5.
Timmy's is I think season 4.
Okay.
And he wore it for 3 Halloweens in a row.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he just worships Oliver Queen.
He's a great character.
So for me, this was a tough one. I was trying to think, what superhero do I want to be that doesn't have powers? They're just a regular person. You know? I was oh, Batman. He's just a regular person. Yeah, he's got money though, right? So that was an option. But after giving it some time and some thought, I'm thinking Martian Manhunter.
Ooh.
Huh.
Yeah. But you're
Right?
so handsome. Why would you want to shapeshift?
Because I could shapeshift into whatever and whoever I want.
We can
And I have
we could
just
lose
as much strength as Superman.
just as much as.
Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right when I
It
say that.
depends on the comic book writer.
So I think that's going to be my ultimate choice would be Martian Manhunter. Be able to do basically anything you want.
That's fair. That's
You
fair.
know?
That's a good one.
Right?
That's a good one.
Why, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'm really excited for this next question.
I am too.
This is one of my favorite questions, not just because I wrote it, but just because I have my answer all set. You guys could probably guess
So
it. But.
I have a feeling this came up because of a Arrow episode.
No,
Because I remember watching it and you were talking about, oh, that'd be awesome to sit there and just have a drink with a superhero when we were watching it. So, what is one superhero you would like to go drinking with?
Am I going first?
You can go first because I know you're super excited for this.
Who's you want to guess who I'm going to say?
Do I want to guess who you're going to say? For some reason, I want to say Thor.
No, I die. John Constantine.
That was going to be like.
I would love to go drinking with John
Do
Constantine.
you have to smoke too?
I would have a cigar, maybe, if anything. But John Constantine would be my number one choice of a character to go drinking with.
Yeah.
Deadpool was a second,
Mm-hmm.
but also there's liver healing that I could not keep up with.
That he can.
Yeah, but yeah, I would love to go have a drink with John Constantine.
All right, Rob.
Got a couple.
Okay.
Hancock.
Okay.
Fair.
Jessica Jones.
Okay.
Also fair.
She seems like she knows where all the best places to go
yeah.
are.
Those
But
hole in the
my
walls.
real answer is Jesse Custer. Do you know who he is?
I'm sure when you say it, I'm going to be like, oh.
Jesse Custer from Preacher. He is, first of all, I love the Preacher comics. And they turned it into a really good show. I didn't make it all the way to the end of the series. But it's actually played by Howard Stark plays Jesse Custer. And he is someone that, first of all, he knows how to drink really, really well. Second of all, I would imagine he's someone who has, met angels and God and all these other things, and the stories he could probably tell when he was drinking would just be astounding. So I'm going to go with Jesse Custer.
All right. So I'm not 100% sure. This is too hard for me, to be honest with you. But I'm thinking after watching this particular movie, Doctor Strange.
Good drinking.
Because he could I wouldn't have to pay for a
Would
drink.
refill like that.
He'd refill it with magic.
As long as he's not texting while he's driving.
I think that would be good just to get free alcohol. But to sit there, have a good time with someone. Wolverine?
I feel like it'd be really depressing.
No, I don't think it would.
He seems like the type that wants to drink alone.
Yeah.
X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about Wolverine, though.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, me too.
I did.
I don't know. So, all right. So, moving on here. What is top... We'll go top 3 non-MCU / DCEU, comic book movies. Rob, why don't you take that one?
Okay. Hellboy 1 and 2. The Guillermo del Toro Hellboys. I'm a huge del Toro fan. Dredd. Now, I am not talking about Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone.
the
Talking about Carl Urban's Dredd, which, if you haven't seen it, is just such a lean, mean action movie.
It is nonstop.
And then I actually have 5, so I'll just rattle them off. 300, because I think it's a great adaptation.
Yep.
Kick-Ass, which is just a lot of fun. And Logan.
Okay.
That's not MCU. That's a Marvel movie.
That's not an MCU movie.
But it's Marvel.
But it's not MCU.
We didn't say
the question
MCU.
says MCU.
Yeah, the question does say yes.
Semantics.
All right, Paul.
I also have 5, but Mystery Men. Love Mystery Men. Unbreakable. I appreciate it even more nowadays.
Yeah.
It was way ahead of its time.
1993.
1993. The Incredibles.
Oh.
Oh,
One of mine.
So mad.
I definitely thought I was going to be the only one.
No. The Rocketeer, if you hadn't heard, we just did an episode with one of our friends, Brendan, on Cinematic Adventures. We had a lot of fun with that. And The Crow, the original Crow. So it's just I wanted to do Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2, but I put them under the DC banner just because I think DC does own whatever.
Semantics.
But they're not DCEU.
I know, but I just I didn't think about it. But so you know what? I'm going to take The Crow off. Sorry for everybody, because I also dang it, Kingsman also. But Kick-Ass 2 is one of my favorite superhero movies. I love Kick-Ass 2. It's one of the few times that it really improved upon the sequel.
All right. I'm going to go with Kingsman.
Okay.
Dang it.
Yeah. I'm going to skip over The Incredibles was there. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990.
Ooh.
Right? Not any of this current stuff.
When Casey Jones straight up murdered Shredder at the end.
Yeah, right?
Oops.
And then if I have to choose a third, correct me if I'm wrong, The Mask.
Yeah, no, that's totally acceptable.
Oh, wow. Deep cut. Love it. Yes.
Yeah, I think those would
Yeah.
probably be like my top. I mean, Incredibles is technically it should be the
Talking
top
about
3
The
for
Mask
me.
2 with Jamie Kennedy, right?
You get out of my house.
Yeah, of course, with the dog. Yeah.
We should do an episode on those movies.
Oh, yeah.
On both those movies.
If you ever want to see a quality drop off to a sequel, that's it right there.
Oh yeah.
It's like watching the porn parody.
Oh,
yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
But yeah, the Mask I think is a all-time classic
Yeah.
that I think people forget about. To be honest,
it really is that good.
I have an
Yeah.
honorable mention for that for this list. Men in Black. Even though it's Marvel-ish.
I considered that one.
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
I like all 3.
So now
all-
we'll go
not
into
all
another
4?
top 3. We'll say our top 3, which graphic novels.
Okay.
Rob.
Recent one that I read and that we also covered here, Sin City. It is, and not all the Sin Cities. I think only like 1, 2, and like 5 or 4 or something like that. A History of Violence. That's a great graphic novel adaptation.
I wanted to put that on my list. Yeah.
And Ghost World. Daniel Close's Ghost World, which is one of Scarlett Johansson's first movies, and Steve Buscemi is in it, and that's such a sweet, wonderful movie. I loved Ghost World.
All right. Paul.
They're going to be such like the easy ones. I'm sorry. I'm
it's
going to say it.
fine. No judgment.
Dark Knight Returns. It's just it is quintessential. If you are a Batman fan, if you're a graphic novel fan, it is one of the best. Scott Pilgrim. I love Scott Pilgrim. It's one of the few that I've actually done some reading and research on. And Watchmen.
Yes.
Especially after all these I've seen after the movie. I was also going to put V for Vendetta on there. That was an honorable mention for me anyway.
I haven't read, to be honest with everyone, I have not read a graphic novel.
And that's fine.
You know,
Have you seen any adaptations of graphic novels?
no, I have not.
Well, you've seen Watchmen.
I was joking.
You took them so seriously.
I did.
No, I've seen like a lot of them. You know, V for Vendetta. You know, obviously Sin City. You know, and everything. Scott Pilgrim and every. But as far as the books, I can't give one because I haven't read them.
That's fair.
So,
That's
all right.
fair.
So we'll keep moving on here.
And if you're listening to this show and you go to Brewster High School, you can always take Mr. Loalbo's comic book elective, which will be running this fall.
There you go. Top 3 best superhero TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, start it off, buddy.
Arrow. I love Arrow.
Didn't you both give me crap for that when we were talking about it last
No.
time or whatever? We had some sort of topic. The last time we did a Q&A about some superhero show, and I said Arrow because it started off everything.
We're saying we gave you crap about you saying it started off everything.
Ronnie's drunk.
Yeah. I racked my brain for this one because originally we had 5. I do have 5, but we're trying to narrow it down to 3.
You could say 5, just
Go quick.
rapid.
I'll say Arrow, Smallville. Even though it only lasted 1 season, Constantine, it was so good. Heroes, the original run, not Heroes Reborn. And then I really had some trouble with the last one, so I'm just going to do 4 then for now.
After all that.
Rotate back. Actually, because I wanted to say The Flash, but unfortunately The Flash has dipped in quality.
Yeah.
So you know what? Even though it hasn't finished yet, I'm going to boldly say Superman and Lois.
Okay. All right, Rob.
Surprised you didn't say. No one said The Boys.
I like The Boys. I really do.
Well,
but
it's weird because not everyone went. Only one person went so far.
Oh, sorry, sir. So I do have The Boys. I have Watchmen. Now, when I say Watchmen, I'm talking about the HBO Watchmen 9-episode series,
Really good.
which was astoundingly good. I couldn't every episode would end and I'd have to remind myself to breathe, and then I couldn't believe I had to wait a whole another week for the next episode.
HBO Max killing it.
Oh my gosh. Agent Carter. I really
It's
enjoyed it. It was
very
only
good.
2 seasons, but it was a really good 1940s film noir with the female detective trying to break through a man's world.
Okay.
The Tick, the Amazon show The Tick. And then I went cartoon here, Batman Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
I think Batman Brave and the Bold is it's hysterical and it's brilliant, and it introduced me to so many characters I wasn't aware of.
See, I didn't even consider animation. Just so many great choices.
For me,
I said Daredevil. Sorry.
both of you need to
Okay,
muzzle
okay.
yourselves when it's not your turn.
Yes,
Ronnie, do you have something to tell the class?
No, because you guys decided to chirp in when it wasn't your turn. No. Arrow,
And so much for our 101 episodes.
Daredevil, The Boys, The Falcon and Winter Soldier,
Yeah, I know you really
Bold.
like that show.
Bold
Yes.
claim.
and then another one. I don't know. I'll leave it at 4. I know we said 3 at the beginning, and everyone else
Yeah,
said
that's
5.
fair.
but
We got excited.
There's too many to choose from. I'll probably say one later on. Don't worry. Favorite superhero costume, Rob?
Well, I have to find my answer. Favorite superhero.
Costume.
Come back to me for a minute.
All
All
right.
right. So easy answer for me is Superman. I love.
Now, which one?
Well, no. I wasn't done. The easy answer for me would be Superman.
Yeah.
I love. We have a poster of the new Superman,
52.
the new 52 Superman, and obviously, Superman and Lois did a great job bringing the Fleischer suit back in Kingdom Come. I will say though, the Batsuit is the most iconic costume. Like, there is something about Batman and the Batsuit and the way that it's scary and it's intimidating and it's just. I will say the Batsuit. I can't, like, as much as I love Superman's suit or I love Captain America's suit, close second, one that I can argue is Nightwing's suit. In Titans, it looks fantastic.
Okay. Rob, you got your answer now?
I'm still. This was a last minute addition question apparently because I didn't have this. I will say right now, I really, from the films, and this is just for a few reasons, Catwoman's suit in
Halle Berry?
In The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I hate The Dark Knight Rises, but Anne Hathaway, she's got those flip-up things that become her ears.
That become cat ears,
yeah. Become cat ears. I just thought that was the coolest thing. Plus, I've got a thing for Anne Hathaway. So
That's funny. That's it? That's
Yep.
Okay.
That's my answer.
All right. Short and sweet. That works. I'd say Howard the Duck.
You really?
The little suit and tie he's got? In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2?
You know he's got 3 boobs too.
Yeah. I mean, come on. No. And also,
I think he actually does have boobs though.
Who is this?
Howard the Duck. No, I'm serious. Like the character of Howard the Duck does have mammary glands.
I never looked at his anatomy.
They show him bathing in the movie.
All right. So
Must have
if we are going
fast-forwarded.
specifics, Batman suit and Batman vs Superman.
Oh, I love you. I didn't want to pick a specific one, but I think live action versions that is my number one.
That was one that I was considering. That is it. The other one I was considering, which I might get crap for right now, Aquaman in the movie. In his
Jason
movie,
Momoa?
Jason Momoa.
When he wears the traditional one.
Yep.
He pulled it off. I will not give you crap.
Yeah. I we all know that movie's that movie, but
I like Aquaman.
I
really
do
enjoy
too.
it. I enjoy that movie.
But I don't know, just that suit with him in it looked like it should.
I have an addition too.
Okay.
I really, really love Captain America's 1940s suit, battle suit.
Okay.
When he's in battle, I think
it does hold up.
Yeah, it's such a great. Well, and don't forget too that this is one of the very first realistic adaptations of Captain America that was passable.
No rubber ears.
Other than the Salinger one,
Yeah.
where it actually looked good. It looked like something that someone like that would wear in the 1940s during World War II.
All right, awesome. We are kind of running out of time almost, so we have a lot more questions that are on our list that we will do another episode for you all with. All right, but we're gonna finish off with one more. We did a lot of loving this episode, so we're gonna finish with one more love question or favorite question.
What
right.
I thought we were just doing.
we could do a rapid fire.
I thought we were just gonna go rapid fire.
Yeah, let's
You
go.
want to rapid
let's
fire for all
rapid
these?
fire.
All right.
But instead of top, I was just asking.
Instead of tops, we'll just do top ones.
Sounds good.
All right.
That's what I was trying to.
Best superhero alter ego. Paul.
Clark Kent.
Rob.
Oliver Queen.
You guys both saw Bruce Wayne. No, I'm just kidding. Most shocking superhero moment. Rob.
Henry Cavill's mustache.
Oh, that's great.
No, actually, when the phrase came up on screen, 5 years later.
Savage.
Yeah.
Yes. That one, I will also want to add the disappearing pencil trinket in The Dark Knight.
Okay.
All right.
The death of Jason Todd
Oh, yes. By crowbar, was it?
by crowbar.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I think Thor's entrance.
In Wakanda?
Yeah, in Wakanda.
Oh, good choice.
That is a solid one.
like in my head, I'm thinking it's not like shocking, like, oh wait, Thor's. Well, I guess technically it's Thor's here. But I think that to me, and also kind of lightning involved. Yeah. All right. Moving on to our next question here. A director we would love to see do a superhero movie.
Do we have to say the superhero we would prefer?
If
I
you
just
want
have director names.
If you want to say so and so directing this movie, you can. I mean, I don't see why not. Rob?
Martin Scorsese.
I was actually gonna say that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Because I gotta say, look, if you're gonna say that's, and I agree with him too. You know this too. If you're gonna say this about superhero movies,
I edited that
then
out.
make an art film superhero movie.
Okay.
David Fincher. I would love to see his superhero movie. Having watched The Game and Seven and Zodiac, he'd do something
What's
really
in the
movie.
box?
What's in the box?
Spike Lee. I'd love to see.
How many are you naming?
5.
We're not doing
It just
five.
says directors.
Just as fun. Oh, I thought it said directors. All right, I got 5.
It does say directors. Go ahead, say your 5. We got
Spike
5.
Lee.
No,
I would
because he's
love-
gonna take all mine.
I'd love to see a Spike Lee movie. No, these next 2 I guarantee you won't have. Greta Gerwig. She did. I just got blank stares. She did Lady Bird. She also did Little Women.
I knew who she was.
Oh, okay. She has such a strong sense of snarky humor that I'd love to see her do.
I would love to know what superhero movie she could do.
Yeah. Squirrel Girl.
Okay.
What is with you with Squirrel Girl?
Squirrel Girl needs to be done.
What about Burrito Boy?
And then finally, Bong Joon-ho. He did Parasite this year. He also did Snowpiercer with Chris Evans. He did.
That show's on like season 7 now too. Which is even funnier.
He did. He did so many great films. The Host. He has a good satiric edge to him.
Okay.
I have one.
Okay, good.
But I have a movie that I'd actually like to see him do.
Okay.
I would love to see Steven Spielberg do a Titans movie.
It would be just lots of people staring with wide eyes into bright lights.
I would. We're in this big craze of 80s nostalgia right now. It's starting to damper down, until Stranger Things season 4 comes out. Yeah. But to see Steven Spielberg do a movie about kids fighting in a superhero world with superheroes, I feel like it would just be really cool, and I'd really enjoy. Because like in my mind, it was kind of like an E.T., but instead of trying to get E.T. home, they're trying to like fight bad guys with E.T. kind of movie. Like just I saw it in my head, and I saw Steven Spielberg, and just he's another director that's never done really any superhero properties. And to see him, he was so involved with Ready Player One. I'd love to see his take on because he gets modern pop culture too. I would love to see a Steven Spielberg Titans or a Young Justice movie by him.
All right. I'll give that to you. Adam Sandler.
Get out. What are you doing?
What do you mean?
Adam Sandler he's never directed anything.
How many directors do we have that have never really directed anything?
Fair enough.
Done superhero movies.
So what gives you an indication that he would be a good director?
Who's Kevin James going to play?
Where will Rob Schneider come in?
Have you seen Uncut Gems?
Yeah, but that's not because of Adam Sandler. That's because of the Safdie brothers.
No, that's his movie.
He does bring a lot to it.
Because of the Safdie brothers. Go see the movie Good Time, which is comes right before that, and that's with Robert Pattinson, and it's that same sort of angst.
We agreed that we were not.
Fine. Yes. Sorry. This is a happy show.
Again, I was just surprised. That's one that I would like to see. I don't think it's really realistic.
So what would he make?
Howard the Duck.
I was gonna say it would have to be somebody with like a comedy edge to him.
It's got to be
somebody with a funny accent.
I mean, I could probably see him doing some sort of like Guardians,
like
of
some
Galaxy
kind of,
something you know
like
what
that.
I mean, like a goofy
he could
team
do the
or whatever.
Taserface full movie.
Yeah,
Booster Gold.
You know, like somebody like that, like a jokey kind of character.
All right.
But in all seriousness, I was thinking Scorsese, just because I love Scorsese movies. That's why I want to see it. I don't know what exactly he could do.
What if he did like Daredevil, but made it like Mean Streets and Goodfellas?
Yeah.
What if he did just Bruce Wayne?
A Bruce Wayne movie?
Wall Street Part 3.
Yeah.
The Bruce Wayne story.
The Wolf of Wall Street Part 2.
Or The Punisher.
The Bat of Wall Street.
But yeah, Scorsese was like a real kind of like that. Not that it could really happen, but...
Well, he did do the movie Hugo, which was based off of a children's book. So, who knows what he'll pick next.
Yeah. Worst superhero movie. We can... If you have 5, we could do 5. Again, kind of rapid fire them, though. 5-ish. Paul.
Joss Whedon's Justice League. It's horrendous. Steel.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Steel. Blade Trinity.
That's another one. I never made it to 3.
I really like Blade Trinity, but it's just so bad.
Yeah.
And then the behind the scenes stuff is just horrific.
Like how it came, like all the compromises.
Apparently Wesley Snipes was just like a dick during it, like to the point where he would leave Post-it notes for the director instead of having a conversation with him and sign them Blade.
All right, Rob.
Do you have more?
I just did 3.
Okay. The Daredevil Elektra movies. Those I think are
so that's
bad.
17 of them.
There's one. I know. There's one a scene where they're on a seesaw going back and forth, and I'm
it's
like,
rough.
What are they doing?
Cringe-inducing.
Fant Four Stick.
Oh damn it! That was
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
The New Mutants, which is so
That is
awful. Ghost Rider 1 and 2.
I'll argue that on another
I
episode.
would accept an argument for 1. 2 is
Two has very few moments.
Yeah.
Very few.
And finally, a movie I saw recently, and I regret R.I.P.D. That was so
I forgot
terrible.
about that movie.
Yeah. I would have to say Fan 4 Stick,
Yep,
Catwoman.
I haven't seen, so
Oh, it's rough.
that's why it's not
Yeah.
on my list.
It is rough.
Elektra. Steel obviously has got to be one.
I love that movie though so much. It's so bad.
It's one of those. It's bad, but like I guess you can kind of watch it type of stuff. And Spawn.
Yeah, it's another one I haven't seen.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Spawn. I
All
remember
right.
that one too.
So I feel like this one wasn't mentioned. This was a question on our list, and I feel like this would have been on everyone's list of worst superhero movies. Best worst movie that's not Batman and Robin, because we all know that's probably one of the worst superhero movies of all time.
Maybe you should all just chill.
Yeah, but I would watch that movie.
I wouldn't want to freeze on this question.
Listen to our episode for all the puns.
Yeah, Rob. What's the best,
2.
worst
One
movie?
is one that I can't believe it took me this long to discover. The Spirit. It is so awful and weird that it's great.
Yeah.
And then another one, I don't know how many have seen it, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
I never saw it. I wanted to.
It is not a good movie, but there is so much imagination and creativity at play that it's so bad it's good.
Okay.
One that is so bad that it's not good, though, I would warn you away from. In a similar vein, is Jupiter Rising.
Yeah, Jupiter Rising.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
With Magic Mike.
Paul.
Has dog ears for some reason.
Yeah. So I at runner up was Steel. Steel I saw as a kid and loved as a kid, and then I saw as not even a kid, like not even as an adult, like as a teenager, I was like, this is terrible. That's a cringe-inducing one, but really it is Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that's so bad.
I thoroughly love that movie.
Yeah, me
there are
too.
some like when he's like, Johnny, go get the Silver Surfer. He's like, this is Dolce. I love that movie. It is they leaned into what they had, and it's weird when the originals are way better than the reboot, because I was super excited for the reboot, and then it just, ugh.
Yeah.
But I love that movie, and I will defend that movie to my last dying breath.
All right, that's interesting choice.
Ronnie?
Suicide Squad.
The original,
one.
yeah, you do love that movie.
Yes, I can like I've said multiple times, I can watch the movie, but I know it's bad. Like I enjoy it, even though it's bad. Another one, I guess it's not really like a worst movie, but Hancock.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
I like
Hancock.
Hancock.
it's below it's like average below average.
I
but
think
it's
it
not-
was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
And an R-rated Hancock would do really well
If
right
you
now.
get a chance to watch or read about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff with Hancock about
Yeah.
what they tried to do and didn't get through.
Ooh, it was graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was disturbing, and it might have made for a much better movie.
All right. What is a superhero television series that you haven't seen that you would like to see?
Oh, I thought
Well-
it was what people hadn't seen. What we
No,
would tell people to
something
see.
that you haven't seen.
Something that you haven't
Come
seen
back
that
to
you
Okay.
want Rob?
I got 2, and one is a difficult deep cut for me because it's a show that I've always wanted to watch, and I don't know where to enter, and it's got such a huge cult following, and it's so long now, and it's the Doctor Who series. Which
Okay.
I know he's not a typical superhero, but it does fall sort of in that sweet spot of superhero-ness. I would love to start Doctor Who, and I'm like, I don't know where to, I don't know how to, I don't know.
You start
like-
back 30 years
Yeah.
ago.
And another one is a show that I started watching that I wish I had continued, Black Lightning. That was really great, and it just kind of got lost in the superhero shuffle for me at the
Yeah.
time because so many new shows had come out all at once, and I
Fair
had to
enough.
let something go, and
Yeah.
that one let go, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had seen the rest of it.
All right, I found mine. Powerless
Okay, yes.
with Vanessa Hudgens, and it was like I think it was a DC show, and
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it at all.
I haven't either.
But I heard good things about it. Unfortunately, it only lasted one season. I think it did. 10. They didn't do their entire season,
Yeah.
but Alan Tudyk's in it. Like,
Tudyk!
and I love him. He was fantastic in what was it? Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
like him in Moana.
yeah. They did 12 episodes, and it's just such a fun. It goes back to that concept of the everyday person living in a superhero world. So I
Okay.
wish I had caught it when it was actually still on.
I have two. One is Titans, from
Oh, yeah.
what you guys have been saying and everything like that.
You want to watch Titans after this? We can watch
Yeah.
Titans. We can watch Titans.
Okay. I'm down. But it's one of those shows that I want to get around to. Is just finding the time to, because a lot of things are happening. And then also another one that I heard really good things about. I want to say it's on Amazon. Invincible.
Melanie and I watched the first episode. It's like The Boy. It's very similar to The Boys, but animated.
Yeah.
It is.
I've
good.
heard very good things about that.
I
So
really
that's
hoped he
a
was going to
show
say.
that I want.
I wanted him to say Lucifer, so we can make him watch Lucifer.
See, to me, I'm like, well, the other shows, it's only like one season. Invincible, Titans is what going to be
They
its
just
third,
started their third season.
right? You know what I mean? So it's like at least those shows I can kind of like catch up on in like 2 weeks or whatever, you know. So those are mine. What is a failed superhero project you would love to have seen?
So
Paul.
Oh, sorry.
No,
You
you had a thinking face, so I thought you needed time. That's why I was going to go to
actually
Rob.
looked at
That's
me.
his usual face.
So this isn't a movie. It's unfortunately due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Every crossover they had planned for the CW Arrowverse went kaput.
Yeah, I heard you talking about this in the DC episode that you wished.
I really because Black Lightning ended this year, Supergirl's ending this year, Superman and Lois got introduced, John Diggle did a 5-episode arc. They had plans. Those plans, unfortunately, were a victim of COVID, and now they're going to start the new season with all these new shows, and they're going to do like Batman and Brave and the Bold style, where they're going to have like minor crossovers, but like the time. Especially now with this Delta variant, and Canada's still on pretty heavy lockdown. Unfortunately, we're not going to see another Crisis. Crisis on Infinite Earths was unfortunately the Magnus. It was.
I think they're done with that.
with
stuff.
the big crossovers.
Yeah.
Supergirl's ending. Flash is going. Flash
is on its last lap.
You hear
Or its last
conflicting.
lightsaber.
You hear conflicting reports about what Flash is. Like some say that they want Grant Gustin for another 3 years. Others that they don't. It's a mess, unfortunately, and COVID did not help. So really, for me, it was all the opportunity we had this year for CW, because we always looked forward to it. Ever since the Flash versus Arrow episode and then the Brave and the Bold episode, we want every year it was, what's their crossover going to be? What's it going to do? What's it going to do? And they got bigger and they got better and they just got more interesting. I mean, what was the episode with the alien the invasion storyline?
Yeah.
And then it was Crisis on Earth X, and then it was Elseworlds. Elseworlds was fantastic.
Yeah.
They beat Marvel to the What If game. It was it's just
Yeah.
such. I'm like really just sad that the TV shows took such a big hit. I'm glad they're back. I'm glad we get to enjoy them. I'm glad people are being safe. I miss though what we got so spoiled with.
Yeah. Rob?
2 answers. Ava DuVernay's New Gods movie. I don't know too much about New Gods, but I know a lot more about Ava DuVernay. And she's got such a beautiful visual style. She did 13th. She did Wrinkle in Time, which it wasn't a great film, but just
It was nice.
the creativity behind it, it was brilliant. So I'm sad about that one. And then the other one is the Tim Burton, Nicolas Cage, Kevin Smith Superman.
I knew you were gonna say it.
Yeah.
If there's a great documentary about it. I think it's on YouTube called something about like what happened.
Whatever happened to Superman Lives or something
Yeah,
like that.
something
yeah.
like that. And it was called Superman Lives, and it ended with a fight with a giant spider because there was this studio exec who insisted to Kevin Smith that he write the third act with the fight with the giant spider. And I just have to see it if it's
It was
all
actually
those people.
Nicolas Cage's hair.
Yeah.
He was actually fighting in that.
So that's mine.
All right. I see. I don't know.
Hero season 5.
Imagine. I would say, I guess it's not really a project per se, but not having Green Lantern in Justice League.
which they did. They filmed it. It was done. It was like they casted the actor Jon Stewart.
Yep.
Like,
so that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't. I guess technically it was a failed project.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that Zack Snyder's Justice League to begin with. Like,
well, that I was going to say that jokingly, but we ended up getting it, so I guess we can't.
But also,
say that.
like, because there were supposed to be parts 2 and 3.
Yeah. So I think that is definitely one. And then a good Green Lantern core movie, which hopefully we'll get in the next couple years. So kind of going off of that, which character was better adapted into film or TV
You skipped one.
than the sword? I know I did. I'm
Oh,
going to it.
you're doing the good one first.
I'm piggybacking off of that.
He's the host.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So which character was better adapted into film or TV than the source? Rob?
I don't have so much of a character as I do have a movie.
Okay.
And for me, that's the film Snowpiercer.
Okay.
It is one. I say this hands down. It is one of my favorite movies. It's directed by Bong Joon-ho. It stars Chris Evans, and it's a dystopian film where you have the lower classes, like the entire Earth has frozen over, and the only way to keep society alive is to keep them on this bullet train that travels around the world, because everything is freezing so much you have to have some sort of motion. All the lower classes are in the back of the train, the upper classes are at the front of the train, and the lower class decides to rebel and work their way to the front of the train, and it is so exciting.
Okay.
And I've read the original graphic novel, and it's actually it improves upon the graphic novel. It's much better than it.
Paul?
Character of Lucifer and the show. Like, he is very different in the comics. If anybody's ever read the Lucifer comics and Sandman and all that,
he's nothing like Sandman.
He is not a hero. He's not a good guy. But Tom Ellis just took the character and ran with it. And
I think the only similarity is that he owns Lux, and that's about
Lux
it.
and the name.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Lucifer it's just such a great show. I'll never stop singing praises about it.
So I have two. I have a character and I have a storyline.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Which technically the storyline isn't better, but it didn't really fall under the failed superhero project kind of thing we would want to see. So character better adapted into film or TV, Joker. I think other than
The movie?
the movie. Let me go. Other than Joaquin Phoenix,
you put the quarter in. You got to let the whole song play out.
We haven't really had a bad Joker. Name other than Joaquin Phoenix.
Jared Leto.
Easy, Rob.
No, I think that's not because of him.
I totally blame it on him,
I
but
would
I'm
like
not
to-
going to argue.
I'd like to see the air cut.
Yes, I'd like to see the haircut, and then the way he was in Zack Snyder's Justice League was a lot
that scene
better.
still gives me chills.
Yes.
Except for the reach around
I
line.
I think him on screen was a huge improvement, not just because of obviously Heath Ledger. I think is the most iconic. But a storyline that was adapted into film or TV that wasn't good. The Killing Joke.
Oh.
I think that is one of the best storylines in comic books you have, and it was just so bad. They did not do it justice. I know this was supposed to be better,
Right.
but it to me, this didn't fall under the failed superhero project
Okay,
kind of thing, so that's why I'm kind of including it in there. So if anyone has like a storyline they want to put in for what I said, you can.
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix.
Twice.
Yeah.
I'll just go with that one.
Okay. So our last question we have here, unless someone's got something off the top of their head afterwards, but what character was either misrepresented or underrepresented in film and TV? Paul.
Cyclops.
Okay.
100%.
Cyclops was done terribly in the X-Men movies.
Every single time.
Even when Ty Sheridan, who I really Ty Sheridan, who I enjoy as an actor. I've seen him in a lot of different things besides the X-Men films. He's in Ready Player One, but he's got chops. They brought in a young. He had a little bit more personality. But they did Cyclops dirty, especially in the original trilogy. And James Marsden, he can act. He's a good actor. I really enjoy James Marsden. He's even funny. Like, he's a funny dude. But the Cyclops, who was one of the quintessential X-Men, got pushed out of the way for Wolverine. And just, especially in X-Men 2, where he's not even in it, and then X-Men 3, where they kill him off unceremoniously.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
I knew it. But yeah, it still grinds my gears.
Yeah. I've got one that is a very underrepresented film that it didn't do well and it didn't go over well, but I will argue that it has more creativity per minute than most other superhero properties, and it hasn't gotten any attention.
Our podcast?
Tank Girl.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever seen Tank Girl?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of
All
Tank
right,
Girl.
I actually rewatched it this week just to double check, which you can actually get. It's on free online, legally, and it stars Lori Petty and it stars Naomi Watts. And Ice-T is a Rastafarian kangaroo. If you can wrap your head around that.
Oh, I can. I see his car commercials.
Malcolm McDowell is in it. He has a robotic arm with propellers on it and a holographic head. It is by far one of the most imaginative comics and films, but they didn't have a lot of money, so you could see them in every scene trying to squeeze as much money as they possibly could. And there's so much heart in this property that I don't think it gets the attention, and I'd love to see a Tank Girl reboot done sort of with more money and updated.
Okay. For me, underrepresented, Mr. Terrific from Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Refresh me.
Curtis Holt.
Yeah.
He wore the T on his face. He wore the black
Oh my
leather
gosh!
jacket. Yeah.
Yes.
He was in
Oh,
Arrow.
he was the
yeah.
computer hacker for a while.
Yeah.
All
He
right.
was the longest lasting out of the new Team Arrow, besides
Yeah.
Wild Dog.
Yes. But I feel like he didn't really do
I'd
anything.
argue that whole team.
That whole team, yeah. I got.
Was
yeah.
that the same team that had Ragman on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to argue Ragman that like he was there and then he's like, I don't have my powers anymore. Goodbye. And
Yeah.
then
I do love how they brought him back for, what was it, like the 200th episode?
did that.
or
Yeah.
something?
We met him. He is such a nice guy. I felt
Yeah.
so
Oh,
bad
yeah,
that
they brought him back.
That they cut him out. Okay, good.
They
Yeah.
did a episode about a documentary about Oliver Queen. And
Yeah.
He
they
was
interview
so
him.
nice to us.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be on the show all the time.
They made him too powerful.
yeah.
Yeah. But as far as like, and then like you said, Cyclops, I think one of the most well-known X-Men you have out there. Just he was in the background. Like he's not a background character. He's in the front character. So they really miss a huge opportunity.
Who is
with
this?
Cyclops.
Oh, Cyclops. Okay.
Yeah.
On another X-Men, who's the one that throws the playing cards?
Gambit.
Gambit. Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
hasn't been done well yet.
Well, he was supposed to
Yeah.
get a film, and
know.
unfortunately just...
That
Yeah.
just keeps not happening.
No. But I believe that's all of our questions, and that's going to wrap us up for the evening. Before we go, like we said before our commercial break, we do have a giveaway because it is our 100th episode. So we have a bunch of goodies here from Raise Energy and Rep Sports that we're going to be giving away to one lucky winner. So Paul's going to go over what exactly we have to give away and how you can enter for the competition.
So before I even bring that up, for those of you guys who aren't aware, obviously we do a Raise commercial most of our episodes. They've been a big sponsor and supporter. And also, Ronnie and I love their products.
100%.
Not even, I know Ronnie and I both subscribe to the Insider Package where we get, it's almost like a subscription box for them.
Yeah.
But we also buy stuff all the time. Like, we're constantly going through their stuff. I love their workout gear, their pre-workout, all that stuff.
Protein powder, they got everything.
Yeah, so they were great to us, and they gave us a giveaway for you guys. We actually got to work with them a little bit on this one. So the giveaway is very simple. It is a drawstring bag, a T-shirt, 4 samples of their product. I think it's all their
energy
drinks, a koozie, wristbands, and stickers, all for you guys.
Yes.
I'm going to post a picture of it in the next couple of days. So basically, it's very simple what we're going to do. The giveaway is going to be, we're going to post a picture of the product both on our Facebook and our Instagram. The Facebook is the Multiverse Fancast and the Misfit Faction. It's going to be on both. And also our Instagram is the Misfit Faction. And basically, if you like and tag 2 people, I think we said it was,
Yep.
you're in the running. If those 2 people end up liking our pages, you get an extra entry. And if any of you guys subscribe to us on any podcast listening service, you get a third running. At the end of the month, right? I think we said the end of August.
Yep.
We're going to pick a winner out of raffles and do a spin for it, and you get it. It's yours. Like we'll either if you're local enough, we'll bring it to you. If you are outside of the state lines, basically, we will ship it to you.
Ship it. Yep. All right. So I think that's going to wrap us up. Again, don't forget to
Facebook Fan Feedback Friday.
Oh my God, Fan Feedback Friday.
Yes. So don't forget to enter this giveaway, get some free goodies and everything like that. Before we go, we had a nice little Fan Feedback Friday question that this might have been one of my favorites that we've actually done.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome, sir.
I enjoyed this. I saw this picture and I was like, oh my God, this has to be Fan Feedback Friday.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Yes. So the picture was list characters from any universe worthy enough to lift Mjolnir, Thor's hammer. Mm-hmm. We got some actually very interesting ones. So I'm going to go through every single one of them. Sorry, I'm just having some technical difficulties. Let's see. I'm without saying the names of whoever, I'm just going to literally go right through it. Luke Skywalker, Howard the Duck.
Put that in there. And that was not me.
Yeah, that was not me.
That was our friend Anthony.
Okay, no. I was like, was it me?
Dora's backpack.
Hey, everything's in there.
Yeah. I love this one. Popeye. I thought that was really funny.
Okay.
Yeah. Green Lantern. Sam Winchester, because he already did.
Yeah.
And he did. If you listen to our Supernatural episode, I think we even mentioned it.
Yeah.
Black Panther, Hermione Granger, the Geico Gecko, because he saves everyone 15% or more on car insurance.
That was Timmy's idea.
Yeah.
This was another one. He-Man. I liked He-Man.
Okay.
Yeah. And Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the comics, a ton of people have listed it. Vision, Cap, Superman lifted it at one point. So that was a lot of fun.
Now, I
really
just want to
enjoyed
know, is it Popeye with spinach or without spinach?
Without spinach.
Do it with or without spinach.
It's Robin Williams, Popeye, so obviously he
Fair
can.
enough.
Yeah, you're good.
But that's going to wrap us up for the evening.
And we should also add that we want to give a big congratulations to our co-host Ronnie, who last weekend got engaged.
Thank you.
Yay! She said yes.
Yeah, no, she did.
We
she
are
did.
very happy for
Yes,
him.
thank you so much.
I have a video to post eventually.
Uh-oh.
I showed it to you, I thought.
Oh, okay. I got nervous for a second. But that's going to wrap us up. Don't forget that you can take us on the go with Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean. You can also find our website, themisfitfaction.com, where you can find any of our episodes as well as all of Rob's articles, some pictures of us and everything like that. Don't forget to follow our Facebook pages, The Misfit Faction, also the Multiverse Fancast, also our sister station, The Cinematic Adventures, and then also on Instagram we have The Misfit Faction. Make sure you follow that and like everything on there, comment, because we do ask questions on there as well. And then also on the Twitter machine and everything like that, we're the Misfit Faction Media Network as well as YouTube. That's going to wrap us up for the evening. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Paul.
And I'm Rob.
And we'll be back in a flash.
Smorgasbord 1000.
See ya.
Do I say something now, or is
No.
You guys are.
No, just end it.
Bye.